Awesome. Thank you so much. Welcome everyone to EIP Editing Office Hour, meeting number 100. Yes, this is 100 office hour. So congratulations to everyone. Today is like special milestone for EIP process and broader standard community. We started this space for authors to connect directly with the editors, and this has grown into a regular forum for reviewing proposals and answering questions. I believe this is helping contributors to navigate through the EIP process. So thank you to all EIP editors, authors, reviewers, implementers, and community members who have participated in these office hours. And I believe we are here because of you. Today we are hosting a special 2-hour EIP/ERC Blitz. We did the first one in 2025, so super happy to organize this again. Thank you, Sam Wilson, for being there for next 2 hours and reviewing many proposals. Yeah. Well, before we begin, I would also like to thank the EIPS Insight team for creating a dedicated dashboard for the 100th office hour. If anyone from the team is here, please paste the link in the chat so we can bring it up. I believe it is also added in agenda for people to follow. And whoever are listening, it's eipsinsight.com/EIPOH100. So this dashboard is directly created for today's meeting, for the next 2 hours, whatever we are reviewing in this meeting. With that, let's get started. Sam, thank you once again for joining. And yeah, we can get started with the proposal in final. We are also joined by the author, so in case you have any question.
Sounds good. All right, this should be easy. Let's just give it a quick read through. So, specialized in AI security. Okay. This ERC defines a standard interface for verifying AI agents on Ethereum. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's go take a look at that diagram. There we go. Yep, that looks good. Okay. The verification provider must call on the canonical identity registry contract to resolve the returned URI to fetch against registration JSON file on metadata fields. Must be extracted from this JSON in accordance with the ERC registration. Okay. Direct submission of individual parameters without an agent ID is not permitted. Okay. Compliant verification providers must implement all of the following verification types and apply them using resolved metadata. Validates the legitimacy and security of a smart contract. When a contract address is present in the resolved metadata, must verify that the contract address is a deployed smart contract on the resolved chain ID by calling ETH get code and confirming the return bytecode is not 0x. Must check contract against known vulnerability. Okay. Cool. Okay, should perform forensic analysis to detect indicators of AI generated concept. Okay. Okay, what is... So is this supposed to be the only check, or is this part of the check?
Yeah, so it's, if you look at the diagram, there's 5 different verifications on there. But in regards to the media content verification, it's just that one run of one verification.
Okay, yeah,
I'm different areas using the CPA2.
Yeah, I guess I'm just checking what the difference is between Ethereum token verification and code verification. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously with the Ethereum token verification, just looking at the contract address, the Solidity code verification looks at all the Solidity code within the verified contract.
Interesting. So this one's like essentially looking at the bytecode, and then this one would be looking at the... Okay. Would it make sense to also have... I know this is a little bit late, but... Would it make sense to also have a must verify that the Solidity code, I guess, yeah, that you could compile it and then compare the bytecode. That'd be covered under that. All right. Ensures the agent web endpoint is accessible and secure using the resolved metadata. Must verify response. Must check for common security vulnerabilities. All right. Good. That's good. Okay, that all looks good. Okay. Yeah, that looks great. Cool. Let's move on to 4337.
Yes, we have Alex on the call who is pushing the proposal. While you are reviewing, Sam, I would also like to mention it to the participant of the call. We would love to see this call being more helpful to authors. So if you have any questions, whether you have a PR or not, if you have any questions for editors, please drop it in the chat and we would love to pick it up.
Construction is an alternative model that allows each account to supply its own validation logic. Executed as smart contract code, but the protocol provides something additional. This document is an account proposal which completely avoids the need for consensus on protocol changes instead of adding new protocol. User operation. Yep. Okay. Historically introduced account abstraction has been. Yep. Okay. This proposal takes a different approach, avoiding any adjustments to the consensus layer. So achieve the key goal of account abstraction. Okay. Good. 7702. I want a bundler. Okay, that's all fine. All right. Definitions. User operation is a structure that describes a transaction to be sent on behalf of a user to avoid confusion is not a transaction. That makes sense. Like a transaction, it contains two call data, max fee per guest, max priority fee per guest, nonsense signature. Okay. It's not defined by the protocol, but by the smart contract. Account implementation. Execute contract, execute puzzles of user operations. Okay, that makes sense so far. Okay. Okay. Okay, verification. Okay. The core interface required for the smart contract account to have is Yep. The op user hash is a hash over the user op, except signature, entry point, and chain ID. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it'd be nice to say how it's serialized. But yeah, not a huge deal. Must validate the colors, the trusted endpoint. Oops. Must validate that the signature is a valid signature, the user op hash, and should return Should not return early when returning SIG validation failed. It should complete the normal flow to enable performing a gas estimation. That makes sense. Must pay the entry point caller at least the missing account funds, which must be 0 in case the current sender deposit is sufficient. Okay, that one's a little bit more confusing. So if it's not returning early when doing SIG validation failed, it doesn't revert. So this rule as written says that even when signature validation fails, the entry point must be paid. which is kind of confusing and probably not intentional.
Yeah, I want to elaborate here what is meant. Yeah, so the idea is that this call will never complete on chain because the returned code would be signature validation failed. So the entry point will not allow the transaction to go through.
Oh, okay. So the entry point will revert as opposed to
the entry
smart
point will revert.
Amount.
The smart account should not revert because that makes gas estimation impossible. Because
okay, that makes sense. So it will, in fact, do the signature valid, like it will actually send the funds, and the entry point will revert. That's okay.
Yeah.
The sender will pay more than this minimum. Okay. The return value must be packed of. Account execute. This method would be called by the entry point. Okay, for each key, the sequence is validated by the entry point for each user operation. If the node's verification failed, Accounts to implement any custom logic, they may need operating on a 192-bit key field while fitting the Okay, while preparing the user operation, bundlers may make a view call to this method to determine a valid value for the nonce field. Bundler validation of user operation should start with get nonce to ensure the transaction is a valid nonce field. If the bundler is willing to accept multiple user operations by the same sender into the mempool, this bundler is supposed to track the key and sequence pairs already added in the mempool. Yep, that makes sense. So, in order to require the account to have classic sequential nonce, the validation function must perform ordered administrative events. In some cases, an account may administrative chain of operations running in parallel to normal operations. In this case, the account may use a specific key when calling methods on the account itself. Okay. Must be an EOA with a designation. The entry point validates the authorized address matches one specifying the user operation signature. Okay. If the sender does not exist and the init code is empty or does not deploy a contract at the sender address, the call must fail. Yeah, that makes sense. Calculate the maximum possible fee the sender needs to pay based on validation and call gas limits. Yep. Then the entry point must be able to call data by encoding after the call, refund the charge account. Okay. Then I guess let's go take a look at your diagram here. So that's 4337. I guess we can just quickly look at them all. Yep, that's the diagram. Again, this is just the source code for them. Okay. Cool. Before accepting a user operation, bundler should use an RPC method to locally call the handle ops function in the entry point to verify that the signature is correct and the user operation actually pays fees. Note bundler must reject an user operation that fails the validation, meaning not adding it to the local mempool and not propagating it to other. Yep, that makes sense. In order to support sending user operation objects to bundlers, which in turn propagate through the P2P mempool, we introduce a set of JSON RPC APIs, including ETH user operation and ETH get user operation receipt. The full definition of the new JSON RPC API is outside the scope of this proposal. Okay. The user op hash is calculated as an EIP712 type message hash with the following parameters. Okay. The ECH user operation method accepts an extra EIP7702 auth parameter. If this parameter is set, it must be a valid EIP7702 authorization tuple and must be signed by the sender address. The bundle must add all in a bundle. Set code TX type. Yep. That makes sense. If the init code field starts with 7702, right padded with 18 zeros. This account was deployed using a 7702 transaction, then the hash is calculated as follows. For the purposes of hash calculation, the first 20 bytes of the init code field of the user operation are sent to the account's 7702 delegate address, fetched with Xcode copy. The init code is not used to call a factory contract. If the init code is longer than 20 bytes, then the rest of the init code is used to call an initialization function in the account itself. Okay. Okay, note that a user operation may still be executed without such init code. In this case, the entry point doesn't hash the current 7702 delegate and can be potentially executed against a modified account. Okay, additionally, EIP7702 defines the gas cost of executing an authorization equal to per empty account cost 25,000. This gas consumption is not observable on-chain by the entry point contract and must be included in the pre-verification gas value. Okay. We extend the entry point logic to support paymasters that can sponsor transactions for other users. This feature can be used for application developers to subsidize fees for their users, allow users to pay fees with the ERC20 tokens, and many other use cases. When the paymaster and data field in the user operation is not empty, the entry point implements a different flow for the user operation. During the verification loop, in addition to calling validate user op, the handle ops execution must also check that the paymaster has enough EIP deposited with the entry point to pay for the user operation, and then call validate payment user op on the paymaster to verify that the paymaster is willing to pay for the user operation. Note that in this case, the validate user op is called with a missing account funds of 0 to reflect that the account's deposit is not used for the payment of this user operation. If the paymaster's validate pay returns a non-empty context byte array, then handle ops must call post up on the paymaster after making the main execution call. Otherwise, no call is done to the post up function. Maliciously crafted paymasters could pose a risk of DOS attack against the system, and bundlers should take steps to mitigate it. As a mitigation, bundlers should use a reputation system for contracts they serve, and the paymaster must either limit its storage usage or deposit a stake in a reputation system. All right. The paymaster and data field is a byte that contains a non-standard encoding of the following fields: paymaster address, paymaster verification gas limit, 16 bytes of gas limit. Okay, the following data can optionally be appended to the pay signature value byte array to be checked by the paymaster contract. Paymaster interfaces as follows. The entry point must implement the following API to let entities like paymasters have a stake. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, this is fine. If anything comes up that's not clear later on, I mean, we can add clarifications to final EAP, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. Yeah, I think this is fine.
Woohoo! ERC 4337, who waited for 5 years for us to organize the 100th office hour to get merged in final status. I'm so happy. Thank you. And congratulations to the team. Sam, we have got a question.
Thank you.
Sam, we have got a question in chat for you.
Okay. Oh, let's see. I'm the co-author of 7930, 7827. We're trying to discern the next steps forward to have this finalized. We believe that we are ready to update the statuses to final. And can, yeah, okay. So, 7930. Yeah. So, once you're ready, you can open a pull request moving it to last call. And then you set a last call deadline of, say, 2 weeks out. That's the last opportunity for anybody to comment on these proposals. And then once that period elapses, you open another pull request to move it into final, and then that's it.
Sam, I would like to add something right over here. I think author can explain it even further. And the reason why it is brought to this office hour is about CAIP 350, which seems to be a proposal which is being mentioned, and that is out of EIP repository. CAIP 350 is not in the final status right now. The idea is to take it to living status, but it's not there yet.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not really much we can do here. Like, you shouldn't link to a draft from a final proposal. But like, as long as you link to a particular commit, I think it's okay. But you'll be linking to an outdated version of the spec, so that's kind of a risk you'll have to weigh yourselves.
I'm not sure exactly what the process is in terms of the call, but am I able to kind of speak, or do I need to
absolutely. Yeah. No, this is absolutely a conversation.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so the dependency on Cape 350 is essentially to separate out those elements that are final and immutable, which is essentially the content of 7930, and then have the flexibility of a living standard within that Cape 350, whereby we can add profiles iteratively over time that define the conversion rules for the addressing systems of any blockchain software stacks that may come in the future. And
Yep.
I guess the issue is that obviously that's an unknown unknown. Nobody knows how blockchain technology is going to develop over the years, and there could be multiple new tech stacks. That cape in principle itself could be updated to being final, because the high level Cape 350 is that is immutable and well defined. It's just these iterative profiles that may come or be updated over time. That's kind of the confusion, I guess.
Yeah, we don't have a great process for dealing with like lists of things that are like we don't have a great process for dealing with mutable lists of things. So what we normally suggest in the EIP process is just publish a new EIP that adds the new type to it. But then you have the problem of you can't find them all easily. So yeah, I mean, it should be fine linking to the cape if you want to keep it.
Okay, but the link would have to be to a specific commit.
Yes.
Okay, I will feed that back to my other co-op. I mean, obviously these specifications have had many authors over the years, but kind of this recent push to update, clarify, clean up, etc., has predominantly been from myself and the team at Unruggable and Mono, Orca, and the team at Wonderland. I will converse with them. I assume, if we go through that process, create PRs for final call, set a deadline in a couple of weeks, and then potentially, I'm not sure how regular these calls are, but potentially would there be an opportunity for kind of live review of that push to final, perhaps in a month?
Yeah, there should be a slot for that.
Okay, perfect. I will do that, and I will feed that back to everybody else that's contributed to these and get them moved forward.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Oh yeah, I am an author on this one. Forgot about that. Okay. This is odd. Why are you breaking like this? Sorry, I just want to take a few minutes to...
No, that's perfectly all right. It's good that we have brought up this.
Okay, I see what's going on here. So if we go here, and let's say, so Skeletor Spaceman. So you have a non-breaking space there, but what we actually need is span. And then okay, and then this one. So I guess it'd be, yeah, okay, so we'd have to add that. I will note that down somewhere. Oh, 1 second, someone's at my door. Sorry about that. It's getting some mail delivered. All right, so note written down, and we can continue on. Okay. Yeah, no discussion on there. Good. Why do you do this? Okay. Yeah, you can absolutely chat.
Hey, you can hear me?
Yep.
Hey, Sam, how are you?
Not too bad.
Did I join at a bad time?
No, not at all.
Okay. Yeah, I just like a couple weeks ago made my first couple edits to an EIP, and I was like, yeah, this is fun. So wanted to just kind of know how I can be a helpful community member without, getting in the way. I know it takes time and effort to bring someone up to speed, so I wanted to be conscious of
yeah.
that. Yeah.
So I guess there are two general areas you can contribute to. Well, and that's excluding the stuff on the cat herder side. But so for the EIP process itself, there's contributing technical feedback and reviews. So if you're, knowledgeable about Ethereum or about any particular domains, going on Ethereum Magicians and giving feedback on people's proposals, asking them questions, getting things clarified. That's a super useful thing to do. We never have enough people reviewing the technical side of things.
So just to give you my background, I've been a security researcher at Opens Upland for 3 years now. I'm at Cantina. I've always just kind of been doing my own thing and would love to get more involved. So technical stuff, how do I find the technical things that need help?
Sure. So if you go on Ethereum Magicians,
yep,
and you go under, say, just the ERCs tab, pretty much anything in here that you are interested in, or you have some relevant knowledge, you can just click on it and provide feedback. I know that's like a hugely wide thing to ask of somebody, but
yeah. I've been looking at so in terms of like writing EIPs. Okay, yeah. So it seems like there's two sides. One is like vetting EIPs, and another is like drafting and writing them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which are you more interested in?
I mean, either. I the technical side, you really have to go deep. So I've been looking at 8140 because that's like the one they've been trying to get to Hagoda for a while, or 8141.
Frame transactions.
Yeah, frame transactions. Sorry, not 41. I'm
also working on that one.
Yeah, there's so much to consider and think about, and so much discussion. So it's like,
yep.
If I'm going to put time in, that's going to take all of the time. So it's like, is that the best use of my time? Yeah,
it's hard to tell, right? But that is probably, like, with somebody with a security background and that kind of knowledge, that is probably where you'd be most useful.
Yeah, the politics side of it seems like a very supercharged EIP.
They always are.
Yeah.
And then I guess the other side is on the shape of EIPs. You can contribute as an editor, or at least as a reviewer for the time being. So that would be like going through and making sure that the motivation is in the motivation section and the rationales in the rationale section. So that one requires very little technical knowledge.
The way I see it is like, if I have an hour and I only have an hour, what could I time box in an hour? What could I do? Where would you want me to be helping if I only had an hour?
Personally, I'd say grab any pull request and review it for like adherence to EIP1. So like a non-technical review, just provide feedback on, that would be the most useful thing.
And you want me to be jumping into the EIP's GitHub or the ERC's GitHub? Which one?
Either.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
lots of pull requests on both. So.
All right.
Yeah.
And then, all right. And I'm not a reviewer, so who are the people that I should be? Is it obvious who I should be tagging if I start reviewing things?
Just review them like the exact same way that I'm doing. Just like leave comments on the pull request, and yeah.
All right.
Yep. There's no like requirement for somebody to be approved before you can leave reviews. So just go ahead and do it.
And can I ask you something not related to EIPs?
Sure.
The Solidity language guys seem to be pretty sequestered. I've offered to help out like a few times over there, and I don't get any response. I don't know how to pierce that veil.
Unfortunately, I can't. I can't help you there.
Okay. Yeah. They seem to be very just secluded, like in an ivory tower. They do great work. I'm not like criticizing. Just like I've seen some PRs there where it's like I can help and nobody responds. No. So I'm over here now. It's all good. Disaggregated community. That's what you get. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I that was all my questions. Appreciate you.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming out. All right. Back to setting the last call deadline on this. So, grab that. Check out 7, 8. So then this is ERC 7813. And 2 weeks from today is the 16th. All right, so I can't edit it for some reason. I can't push to it for some reason. Why is that the case? Where's the little check mark? There is no check mark. Okay. Okay, let's review this one. I should do on split. Okay. Store table-based introspectable storage, on-chain tables for automatic indexing and introspectable state. Some author is good. Last call deadline. Good. Okay, the standard introduces a flexible on-chain storage pattern that organizes data into structured tables that consist of records with fixed key and value schemas similar to a traditional database. The storage pattern consists of a unified contract interface for data access, along with a compact binary encoding format for both static and dynamic data types. Yep, that's a good abstract. The absence of consistent for on-chain data management and smart contracts can lead to rigid implementation, tightly coupled contract logic, and challenges in updating or extending a contract's data layout. This pattern leverages unstructured storage, making it easier to upgrade a contract without the risks associated with using a fixed storage layout. New tables can be added at runtime without breaking existing integrations without the data consumers. Okay. So a stores a smart contract that implements the interface pros. Cool. That makes sense. Okay. number of static length fields. Okay. Okay, and then sure. Okay, encodes the byte length of all dynamic fields of a specific record. Okay. Okay, cool. So create this. Actually, I guess I'll let you finish. Okay. I can never spell that word. There we go. Okay, cool. So that one's done. 1779. Okay. Okay, transfer both tokenized vault requests 7540, enabling optional transferability pending deposit. Okay. Let's go see what discussion we have. We also need to include sender in the transfer deposit request. Okay, did they take care of that? Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay. This standard extends by adding optional transferability of pending deposit and redeem requests and introduce two separate interfaces that allow a controller to transfer the pending request balance to a new controller. Implementations may support either or both interfaces independently. Okay. Yep, that looks good. Cool. So, moving on to review 1692. Conditional send transaction RPC, JSON RPC for block builders, allowing users to express preconditions for transaction inclusion. Okay. Send raw transaction conditional for block builders and sequencers, enhancing transaction integration, allowing users to express preconditions. Okay. Okay, interesting. So you can express like how a transaction will fail without actually having to execute EVM. That makes sense. Simulate transactions, CPU intensive. Okay, that makes sense. Before accepting the request, the block builder or sequencer should. Yep. Check that block timestamp is within the timestamp range. Should reject the request if any address does not. Okay. Case of a successful inclusion, the call should return a hash of the newly submitted transaction. This behavior is equivalent to the, yep. In case of an immediate failure to validate with the transaction conditions, the block builder should return an error with the indication of the failure reason. Okay. The error code should be bah with a reason string. Okay. In the case of repeated failures or known account mapping being too large for the current block builder. Okay. The same as with even if the NRPC method does not result in an error and the transaction is initially accepted. Yeah, that makes sense. Good. Okay. So I'm going to take a few minute break. I will be right back, and then we can continue on with the second hour.
Very well. Thank you, Sam. In the meantime, maybe we can go for a quick recap of what we have done so far. I am looking at the chart at eipsinsight.com/EIPOH100, and we have 2 proposals moved from last call to final and 2 from review to last call. I think there is some error, but we have 2 proposals moved to final, and those are ERC 4337, which was originally documented back in 2021 and now is finally getting to final status in June 2026. Over 5 years of journey, a lot of hard work that went into, and the proposal has made so grateful impact in the ecosystem. Everybody knows about 4337 because account abstraction is one of the basic proposals that were used for wallets and all. Thank you to the team for all this hard work, and yes, we made it to final status. The next proposal that went into final today is ERC 8126. This proposal is about AI revolution. So this proposal is AI agent verification, now that everybody is using AI in programming. So I believe this proposal by CyberSentry, Chris John, and the rest of the people who may have contributed to this proposal will help them build something great. Sam, I am just trying to fill up the time while you get some rest. Let us know whenever you are back. In the meantime, we also moved proposal 8161 to the last call. So the proposal 8161 is transferable tokenized vault request, and the last call will end in 14 days from now. So if you have looked into this proposal and you have thought suggestions in order to improve the proposal, or if you may have implemented, please feel free to drop a comment, a note on ETH Magician forum. The link can be found on the EIP itself. The ERC number is 8126. We have a few proposals for review and a bunch of open for draft, like to be merged as draft. We are looking forward to have them reviewed today. Do we have Sam back? Quickly checking. Not yet. But I also want to share this information with the community that this office hour is a place where you can actually reach out to editor and have your questions answered. I know there are over 400 open PRs. Over 400 PRs and it is even difficult for editors to go on reviewing them in 1 week. So if there are certain things that are pending for long, please join us in this office hour and check with editor what's going wrong. Yes, let's go ahead with the PRs which are listed in the agenda, as well as for whom we have authors available in this call, so we can respond to their questions right here, right now. These calls are organized once in a week. It's on every Tuesday at 1600 UTC. You may see different editors, but we've organized this office hour frequently in order for a forum where people can reach out. You can also find the schedule of the next office hour right here in the bottom of this agenda. It's called EIP office hour calendar. So from there you can always find what is the next available editor's time. You can join the meeting and you can share your PR in case there is something stopping or blocking. We always expect editors to take these PRs, review these PRs async, but in certain corner cases, we would appreciate people to just show up, get your questions answered, and we move the proposal forward. Please drop your questions in chat. I'm happy to respond to them while we are waiting. I don't know if we can have some music for some time.
Oh, I'm back. We're good.
Cool. Thank you, Sam. So yes, we are next headed to move to review proposals. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we did this one already. Honestly, I think we can just approve this and they can fix. Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, let's put you in. Seven, 609. Okay. Is 7609 the right one here, Pooja?
Um, 7691, let me quickly check.
7609.
No. No. I might want to fix that.
All right. I will come back to it. Move to withdrawn. This one should be easy.
For anyone in the call, if you have an open PR and you're waiting for review, please feel free to drop the link in the chat and we will try to pick up after the current one, so we can respond to your queries and make sure the proposals are moving forward.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, so I need to send an email to these people. Oops, 7. User has opened a full request against EIP 867. Because no GitHub username was present in the Okay. Okay, so that's easy enough.
So Sam, couple of things. First, I have fixed that EIP number. It's 7607. And we have got 2 authors on the call. Maybe we can take it after that.
Sure, of course. Okay, so that looks better.
So it was supposed to be Fusaka upgrade.
Yeah, that makes sense. So this is going to review the CIP documents and implemented. Yeah, that seems fine.
Thank you. And in the chat, I have written all the PRs which we received in the order from the authors on the call here.
Okay, so moving on to 1396. This process has minimum interface. Okay.
Sam, you already reviewed this one a long time ago, and I made all the changes you required.
Perfect.
So maybe you can check further down.
Okay.
New proposals are always longer to review in office hours.
And this is a long one.
If there is someone in the call whose proposal has already been reviewed once and they have worked on the suggestions from the previous call, please surface your PRs. Otherwise, we'll be going through the PRs which are already shared in chat.
Thank you.
All right. Agent NFT bindings.
Yeah, we have Arthur Prem on the call. Prem, if you have any questions, please share. Otherwise, Sam, if you find something or some questions, yeah, he's around.
Will do. All right, and now we're on to 11545. Okay, so. Oh, no worries. Take care. Okay. Okay. So I think that is all of the pre-linked ones.
Yeah. I have also fixed for PR 11756.
Okay, cool.
Maybe I can quickly share some stats with people here. We have reviewed 9 EIPs so far, and 6 are from ERC's repo, 3 are from EIP's repo. We have got 1 new proposal merged as draft, 1 moved from review to last call, 2 from last call to final, 1 to withdrawn, and 1 from draft to review. Sam's activity as per the leaderboard here is 11 on count, including all reviews, comments, and merge. And yeah, we have a few more proposals to review. We have like 15 minutes. I think we can pick up the one that we received in the comment as chat, Sam, if you want to take it as the last one. That is 1747 on the ERC repo.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Cool. So I might have time to do one more. What do we have? We have 8 minutes left. Probably not a whole draft. So I'm gonna say we wrap it up here.
Yeah, very well. I mean, we did a great job here because we have merged so many proposals today. We have like 2 final, 1 last call to review, 1 to withdrawn, as well as 1 to the draft. So definitely good use of 2 hours that we have here today. Thank you everyone for joining the 100th EIP Editing Office Hour, and thank you so much, Sam Wilson, for spending last 2 hours reviewing these proposals, answering questions, and helping authors navigate through the EIP process.
That's my pleasure. Thanks for hosting.
Very well. Yeah, thank you to everyone who have participated for the from first office hour till the 101. These sessions are to just make sure that process are accessible, transparent, and we need your collaboration in order to keep moving forward. We have added the office hour calendar in the agenda, and we keep it adding to every office hour agenda. So please take a look at it and join us whenever possible. See you all in the next office hour. Until then, keep writing, keep reviewing, keep improving Ethereum standards. Cheers, everyone.